FinTech is becoming one of the most significant drivers for financial economies and for businesses and consumers. And it really is technology and innovation disrupting financial services. So the objective of the research that I've been undertaking with FinTech West is essentially to understand the competitive advantages of the Bristol and Bath FinTech cluster and how going forward those competitive advantages can be enhanced and to make it a destination for talent to come into the city region to grow the FinTech sector.
John was clearly interested in working with industry and learning more about the regional FinTech. We wanted to do more work with the university, hence it was a natural collaboration to take place. FinTech West is the representative body for FinTech in the Southwest region. We work with all kinds of FinTechs, tech firms, academics, local authorities. We try and encourage collaboration and development of the FinTech scene generally.
The starting point for the research was looking at some best practice from other successful FinTech clusters from the City of London, Edinburgh, Leeds and Manchester, Cardiff, and then looking at the different enablers, access to capital, access to talent, access to stakeholders like universities, and to see how these particular enablers should be mobilised in the local context of Bristol and Bath. One really important enabler is the supply of talent to nourish and bring knowledge and skills.
Real elements of success that we've had in this region is looking at how we can help students move on from their FinTech MScs and get jobs staying within the region where they've obviously trained up.
Another important process of this research was me, as it were, going on a roadshow to mix with industry experts, to mix with government, to actually say, you know, universities have a really important role to play in terms of knowledge exchange. So it's very much focused on impact-related research in collaboration with the stakeholder to actually make a tangible difference to and the enhancements and competitiveness of the city region FinTech cluster. We came up with 7 main findings, but I think there were 3 really important ones. First one was access to capital to scale up. The second finding, what keeps the FinTech cluster nourished, its supply of knowledge coming into the FinTech cluster. I think the third major finding is the fact that it has to be exceptionally well connected with other FinTech clusters. So this research essentially will serve a number of different actors. I think first and foremost it has an economic imperative. So local government, national government, HM Treasury will be exceptionally pleased with the outcomes of the project. Second, it obviously has a great influence on the dynamics of the Bristol and Bath FinTech cluster itself. And it really is sort of maximising its competitive advantages, which is certainly putting a really big flag on the map. The University of Bristol now has a really firm place at the table as the Bristol and Bath FinTech cluster grows and has international gravitas as well. What is of significance in terms of who will it reach out to? It will also reach out to other alternative communities, not-for-profit organisations which want to serve, their communities.
A very important point to make is so many of the FinTechs in the region are focusing on FinTech for good, helping the underbanked become banked, helping underserved communities find finance. I always use a quote which John stated, which is, knowledge has no geographic boundaries, and I really like that mentality, that approach.
The major customers for FinTech are primarily business, but increasingly the adoption of FinTech through mobile devices and apps is becoming an important technology to begin to break down financial inclusion, but also it gives accessibility through challenger banks, through savings, through payments, through mortgages. And I think this is where FinTech is playing a really important role for the good of society.